for this review, we have the Super7 Ultimate Transformers Soundwave. This is the original release. There is a deluxe version that was recently announced that will have less accessories but will cost less. One of the unfortunate things is it seems like it doesn't have his blaster and only has his shoulder cannon. So I'm not sure what audience they mean that product for, but if you are collecting this line, you're going to want to get the ultimate version because it's going to just come with more stuff. So, it's going to come in a plastic bag. So let's take that off real quick. These used to also come in a brown container. They've done away with that. The packaging is pretty consistent with Ultimates. They always have this grid pattern and kind of like this solid line art in some kind of specific color. Soundwave's color here is kind of like a bluish purple kind of color. The Soundwave name is kind of raised on the bottom. There is the word Soundwave on this side, Decepticon on this side, Ultimates on the top. Kind of hard to see, but it does say Ultimates. There's a UPC on the bottom. There's a big Decepticon symbol on the back. And then, as this is a slipcover, open it up and get to see really what you're getting. So, continue with the grid pattern, although there's a gradient from purple to black. Nice transformer symbol, logo down here. As you see, he will come with 2 extra sets of heads, smaller Soundwave, a laser beak that does not transform. It's really unfortunate they didn't give us a bird form for Laserbeak. Yeah, that's a weird choice. Bunch of hands. He does have a blaster down there, and yeah, so far looking pretty good. And then on the back there is basically tech specs, if you're into that. So let's get him all the way out of the package. So there is a backdrop. Um, it's pretty plain, but it's a nice pattern. You could use it on a shelf if you wanted to. The cardboard's pretty thin though, but the printing on the inside is nice and thick. And one thing we could not see from the package is there is a empty Energon cube. Nothing else is hidden. All right, so that is the packaging. Let's get this all the way out and take a look at the figure. Okay, so here he is out of the package, and as you see, he does come with a lot of accessories. We'll take a look at those real quick. So he comes with closed fists, and then he's got kind of these holding fists. He does have 2 gripping fists. Doesn't really have any accessories that would work with these, but still, he comes with that. He's got trigger hands for both sides. And then he's got a couple unique hands. So he's got a pointing hand and kind of a splayed hand. Maybe you can use that for holding the Energon cube. Um, Again, he comes with two extra heads. One is uh, basically the look he had in some of the panels of the original Marvel comic, although in the original comic he was a light purple, kind of like a pink purple instead of a blue. So it'd be cool if they did like another run where he had that different color palette. And then he has a toy head, which looks pretty cool also. He does have a gun, blaster, or whatever, and it does have a sliding gimmick, so that's kind of cool. Although you're not going to like store this anywhere, but still cool that they did this. He does come with the Energon cube, an empty one. It's very nice. Like this is pretty thick. You can tell from the uh, border how thick this acrylic is or plastic, whatever this is. He does have a laser beak that does not transform, which is weird because I don't think his chest opens. So this is weird. And then he's got a miniature version of himself in cassette mode. Um, so the figure, let's go ahead and swap his hand out so we can have him posed with his gun. It did take a lot of force to get that hand out. All right. And we can slide his gun in. This blaster should be larger. This is very small. So that's one mark against this. His shoulder cannon is removable. I guess you could use one of the other holding hands for that. Okay, so that is a good use of the other hand. Oh, it does open. Okay, so he does have a somewhat working chest. The cavity's very small, and just slide laser peek in, put them in there. It's a little loose in there too, which I like. So, these things have a lot of paint on them, so you don't have to worry about the paint, getting scratched or rubbed off in there. Um, Articulation, these guys have some interesting articulation. They have quite a few disc hinge joints. Um, the elbows and knees are single jointed, so you're going to get 90 degrees out of those. He does have waist swivel, but it is stopped by the backpack, which is, part of his design. There is a bicep swivel too. The hands, typical, peg hinge hands where they fold inward. None of these fold upward. Yeah, all these are side to side. Um, there's a diaper that is kind of like a malleable overlay, and you can raise the legs a little bit, but then you get this deformation, and you're not going to want to mess with that too much. So you're not going to get these guys in sitting poses or crouching poses. Although technically there's basically a ball joint in there. Matter of fact, I think it's ratcheted. Yeah, it is ratcheted too. But you're just never going to get a lot of useful, um, you know, forward movement with the leg. The feet. if you can see here, are on a pegged disc hinge type thing, but there's not a lot of room for the feet to go. There's also some pivot. Um, you can get a little bit of dynamic movement with them, but not a lot. And you're mostly going to use this articulation to help get the feet posed and straight. Um, so yeah, that's that. I kind of find these guys kind of being more like nice display pieces. I mean, they don't transform. The upper articulation is decent. The lower articulation is not at all. But they do look cool. The only thing, matter of fact, I think this does open. Yes. So this slides, and you can put stuff in there, kind of like the actual toy, original toy. Um, but these are pretty nice display pieces. One thing I do find is the proportions sometimes are a little wonky. It seems like they're getting better with these over time. They they definitely had an improvement from like the original Optimus to the sleep mode Optimus. So I am predicting that there's going to be a deluxe version of that Optimus that's going to hit Target without all the accessories. Okay. Let's pop the heads off. At least try to. This is one good reason why you want to take this off, just so you can get your hands around this. These joints are very hard to manipulate. Okay. So there he is with the Marvel Comics head. Definitely a different take. And here he is with the toy head. It's okay. I have a hard time like reconciling this head with this cartoon looking body though, because this is definitely not what you expect. So there's that. All right, and I'm curious. I guess he can hold that okay. So yeah, this hand does work well with the Energon cube. All right, so let's do some comparisons. So here he is with Megatron from the series, and it's kind of hard to tell. I think Megatron is maybe a tad bit taller, but I don't know if that's on purpose or accidental. Um, it is interesting that they gave Megatron a dedicated Energon holding hand. Like this is like glued in. Um, but that's him with Megatron. I don't have the regular Starscream, but I do have Ghost Starscream, and he might be a tad bit smaller, like from head height. I think he is tad bit shorter. Um, the regular Starscream will obviously look a lot better if you had this kind of trio going on. And then here he is with Optimus. And Optimus definitely seems to be a tad bit taller. And is Optimus taller than Megatron? Yeah, he might be. But, these definitely have a consistent look. They're um, very much meant to be completely tuned looking, and they do a good job of being that. So, pretty cool release. If you're not into non-transforming Transformers, you're probably not going to like it. If you are into, collecting figures like this, I think these are pretty cool, especially if you have other Ultimates figures. Um, these look pretty cool when you put them all together. They have a consistent look. Um, the overall presentation is really nice. The colors pop for this design, which isn't so much Super 7, but they took what's supposed to be there and they came up with some good color palettes to make them pop as much as possible here. So that's a review. Hope you enjoyed it. Please tune into more videos coming up. And if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you.